Hi, this is Dr. Willie Jolley, and I want to welcome you to the new and improved Willie Jolley Wealthy Ways podcast. After many years of interviewing the best and brightest thought leaders around the world on my SiriusXM show, I am excited to now have those interviews available to people around the globe on this podcast. So many people would write us and say, I love what I've been hearing about your interviews with these great people. Where can I access them? I live in this country or that country, or I don't have access to that technology. How can I get the information? Well, I'm so excited now that we are able to offer the information and the interviews free on this podcast. So we want you to sit back and enjoy this message and let me know how you like them. And then do me a favor. If you like them, send a review, write a review and post it. And if you like it, hit like on here and share it and tell everybody you know about it, and then subscribe to this podcast so you'll get the alerts when we post a new interview episode. Thank you for listening and enjoy the Willie Jolley Wealthy Ways podcast.
Named one of the outstanding 5 speakers in the world.
Inducted into the Speaker Hall of Fame.
Award-winning singer.
Best-selling author.
And now, here's Willie Jolley.
Well, it's true. Yes, I have only just a minute, only 60 seconds in it. Forced upon me. I can't refuse it. I didn't seek it. I didn't choose it, but it's up to me to use it. I must suffer. If I lose it, give account. If I abuse it, it's just a tiny little minute, but our eternities are wrapped up in it. And I'm grateful for this minute. You know, I do it every week. This minute, this moment, this opportunity to be on the air with you, to be in this program with you, to be on this podcast with you, to be on the Zoom with you, be wherever you want to be. I want to be there and give you some inspiration, some motivation, some uplift, some encouragement to help you win more. That's the bottom line, to help you win more in your personal life, your professional life, your business, your faith, every part of your life. I want to help you win more. So welcome to the Willie Jolley Wealthy Ways podcast and show. Now, I am also taking a moment to thank God, give God glory for that minute, God's minute, which was written by Dr. Benjamin Mays, who was Martin Luther King Jr.'s mentor. And I use that in every speech, every program, because that is what spurred my career from when I just started speaking, to say make the most of every minute. My first book, It Only Takes a Minute, Change Your Life, was built on that concept. And that book went on to be a bestseller because I realized that every minute we have is a blessing. So I give God glory for life, for strength, for health. I give God glory for getting up this morning. Every day you wake up is a blessing. If you don't believe it, try missing one. So look, be blessed, be grateful for every day, and give God glory. And then I want to thank all of you listeners and viewers and people who are making this show the number one self-help show on this network, as well as one of the most popular podcasts in the world now. And so you have been telling your coworkers, your friends, your family members, you got to listen to the Willie Jolley show, the Willie Jolley podcast. You got to do it. You got to get that Wealthy Ways podcast with Willie Jolley. And you keep doing it. Please, please keep sharing it with friends on your social media, when you're around the water cooler, when you get back from this pandemic. But wherever you talk to folks, tell them that we've got one goal: to help you win more in every part of your life. So I want to thank you. Then I want to thank our sponsor. We want to take a moment in a minute to thank our sponsor, Truist Financial. 2 great banks, BB&T and SunTrust, came together to create a greater bank, Truist. They have a shared purpose to inspire and build better lives and communities. And so they have developed all their resources, put them together. They have a collective passion and a continuous pursuit of innovation and a desire to help more people. They are opening the door to a better financial experience to help people and businesses do more, be more, and achieve more. So see what the future of finance is shaping up to be at Truist.com. That's Truist, Truist.com. Truist Bank. Member FDIC. Well, folks, I bring the best and the brightest. Every week I bring the best and the brightest to this show. And I got another one. You all know his name and you know his family and what they have been able to achieve. Incredible results. Well, it's no use going around beating around the bush. My guest today is Mathew Knowles. Mathew Knowles is an American record executive, talent manager, businessman. He is best known for being the father and the manager of Destiny's Child. He also managed the solo careers of his daughters, Beyoncé Knowles and Solange Knowles, for a while. He's now doing all sorts of big things. He's teaching. He's a professor. He's an executive. He's a business executive. He's a music manager, a record producer, and he just keeps creating things that are incredible. He was born in Gadsden, Alabama. I got a good friends down in Gadsden, and he started in the rubber factory there. He said that was the big job for folks in that area. You get a job in the rubber factory, you're big, you're on your way. But he said, I got something bigger I want to do. I got something bigger I want to achieve. I got something bigger I want to do. So he went on to Fisk University in Nashville, where he earned both a Bachelor of Arts degree in economics and a Bachelor of Science degree in business administration. And then he went on to continue his education. He got an MBA. He went on to get some background in Christian theology and a PhD in business administration from Cornerstone Christian Bible College. He also has gone into taking classes at Harvard. But most people know the fact that he had a dream. He had a dream for his daughters. And one thing that we connected, here's how we connected. We were both featured in a program here in Washington, D.C. for the 100 top fathers and business people, African Americans, and we were both featured. We took pictures and everything. And I told him that day, I said, I'm going to have you on my show at some point when our schedules align and the stars align, because he said one thing I will never forget, and I have used it over and over again. They said, what was the key, Mathew Knowles, to you being able to help your daughter to become a superstar? He said, if she had wanted to be a doctor, I would have done everything I could to buy her a hospital. As soon as that brother said that, it took me out. Mathew Knowles, welcome to the show, my man.
Thank you, Willie. What a great introduction. What a great introduction, man.
Well, man, look, I gave them the thumbnail sketch of who you are, where you came from. Give us a little more background on where this Mathew Knowles came from and how he got to be the Mathew Knowles.
Well, thank you, Willie. I grew up, as you mentioned, in Gadsden, Alabama, on a dirt road with an outhouse.
Wow.
A dirt road and an outhouse. And it was only until I was about 14 or 15 that we got plumbing and complete plumbing and sewage. And so my family, my mom and dad, they were poor, but I never knew I was poor until I got older in life. And I look back and I was like, I had no idea we were that poor.
Wow.
My dad made $25 a week driving a produce truck. My mom made $3 a day as a colored maid. But entrepreneurship, listen carefully to what my parents did. My dad convinced the white folks to let him use that truck all the time. He tore down houses. He would sell all the copper, aluminum, all the wood. He would then give you $25 for your old car that had stopped on the side of the road in front of the house, as they did in the South.
Yep.
He would sell every part to that car.
Wow.
He would make 5 times more on his entrepreneurial job than he did on his day job. My mother made $3 a day as a colored maid. So she made $15 a week.
Wow.
She convinced the white woman and her friends, any hand-me-downs, please give me. And then on the weekend, my mother, with 2 of her best girlfriends, they would then make quilts.
Wow.
You know, the beautiful quilts they talk about in the South.
Yep.
And they would sell those for $400. And so she made, again, 10 times more than she did on her day job. And they taught me entrepreneurship along with my grandfather, who had 200 acres of land, and he would parcel off 50 acres of that land to the mill that made paper mill.
Yeah.
He would parcel it off to the paper mill. They would come and tear down the trees, clean up the brush, and then sell, turn the trees into paper. But this was the brilliance. He would go behind them and he would then farm. They paid him to clean the land.
Wow. Wow. So
I
you came from people who made the most of what they had and were entrepreneurial and the ingenuity of it all, to be able to take what other people are casting off and make money from it. And then take what they were blessed with and make the most of it.
Absolutely. And I'm very proud of that. I love telling that story because I used to, as a kid, look up in the sky. Alabama, Gaston is hilly. It's the foothill of the Appalachian. Most people don't know that. I would look up in the clouds and I'd say, one day I'm going to be a businessman. Always wanted to be a businessman. My parents instilled and encouraged me. You can be a businessman, son. You can be a businessman.
Wow.
And that's what I always wanted to be.
Well, you have achieved that and more. Well, let's talk about how you got from that paper mill, that rubber factory, and what made you say, okay, I'm not staying here. I'm out. I'm going to go ahead and go to school. And your parents had never gone to college. You were the first one in your family. Am I right?
Well, in my immediate family,
your immediate family. Yeah.
My mother went to the 11th grade. She went to Lincoln Memorial with Coretta King.
Wow.
Andrew Young's wife. They all were classmates. My mother used to braid Coretta King's hair.
Wow.
But I was a basketball star in Alabama. And during the summers, starting in the 11th grade, that was a job that you got when you were a basketball star.
Okay.
But I had to do the work.
Yes.
And it was curing these flaps. And when those flaps ovens opened at about 700 degrees, and little pieces of that rubber would pop off and burn you.
Wow.
I just never woke up. I talk about that in comparing passion. I was never passionate about going in Goodyear. I was determined to do my job, but I wasn't passionate about doing it.
Which is one of the points you talk about in your book, The DNA of Achievement. And folks, we're going to go through some of the traits in here, but one of them is passion. You got to find that thing you're passionate about, not just the thing that pays your bills, but what you're passionate about. Because when you do that, when you find your passion, you will have a new zest for getting up and going on to success. Well, we got about 2 minutes in this segment. I want to talk about how you got the vision for Destiny's Child and how you were able to build this from. By the way, folks, I want to tell a little more of the story because then you'll understand. He went from that rubber factory to went on to become a sales and marketing expert. Tell us a little bit about your corporate work.
Yeah, 20 years of corporate work. I worked at Xerox Corporation in 1978. I started to 88, 10 years. Xerox was ranked the number one company for Blacks to work in by Forbes year after year. Then I was in a medical division. I sold copiers for a year, kept getting promotions after promotions. Sold Zero Radiography for breast cancer detection. We'll come back to that. Yeah. And then I was the first Black with Philips to sell CT and MRI scanners in America. Ended my corporate career with Johnson & Johnson as a neurosurgical specialist. So I had a really different background in diagnostic imaging that in the first generation, not many Blacks at all in that. And that's when I transitioned into the music industry.
Wow. Well, folks, he went on to take all of that experience, all of that sales, marketing, and innovative thinking, because he was on the front end of a lot of the innovation in terms of healthcare, in terms of the products and so forth. He was able to take that and look at his daughters and say, these girls got some God-given gifts. And they were very active in the Houston area in terms of competitions and so forth. And the daughter, Beyoncé, kept winning little things as an 8-year-old, 9-year-old, 10-year-old. And he talked to her and she said, Daddy, I think I can do this. And he would encourage her. Yeah, baby, you can do this. We're going to talk about how he was able to take all of that experience, all of that, plus some real gritty kind of thinking and a go-get-itness to create what has become the biggest name in music, Beyonce, and her sister Solange, and how he was able to do it. We're on the Willie Jolley Wealthy Way show. And for sure, your best is yet to come. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Afraid of flying, I always get my dreams on the ground. Life had enough ups and downs, but Lord, since I met you,
Hi, this is Dr. Willie Jolley, and I have a question for you. Have you ever wondered why some people can make $1 million, lose it, make a second million, lose that, then make a third million, while other people can't even make ends meet? Well, the reason is that those people know the recipe for success. And that recipe is available to everyone if you will do what they did. They made a habit of getting positive, motivational resources of great thinkers and great learners. And I want to offer those same kind of resources to you. We've developed a free page on my website. It's wjspeaks.com/gift. wjspeaks.com/gift. On that site, we've got resources, books, audios that help you to grow, and they're free. So go to wjspeaks.com/gift, wjspeaks.com/gift, and get some of those resources, and then share that page with your friends and your family members. We want to impact and inspire millions of people. And remember, if you enjoy this message on this podcast, like it, share it, and post a review about it, and make a difference in the lives of others by letting them know about it. Have a great day. This is Dr. Willie Jolley.
A to the D to the T to the I to the T to the U to the D to the E. A to the D to the T to the I to the T to the U to the D to the E. It's about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's all about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's all about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's all about your attitude.
And we're back. This is Dr. Willie Jolley on the Willie Jolley Wealthy Ways show, and I want to welcome you all. My show is my dear job, but my joy as well, because so many of you have said it has helped you build a business, help you to write a book, help you to grow your wealth. And that's why I started it. And I'm grateful now. Over 14, 15 seasons now, we've been able to continue to grow our market share, to impact more people. And I want to thank you again for sharing it. Continue to share it and continue to let people know. Also go to winwithwillie.com. Winwithwillie.com is my site where you can get all of my websites, about all my faith-based, business, personal, marriage, youth, all of the different sites are right there, and you can get access to resources. Sign up for the newsletter so that you can get information sent to you that will help you. Short form, short information that will help you to grow your success. Well, my guest today is someone who you all know his name, you know his family. His name is Mathew Knowles. You know him because he is a world changer. He is the father of Beyonce and Solange. You know, it's interesting. You don't have to say their last name and know who they are. That's a big deal. But he's also, that's a big deal. And then the fact that he started a management company. He was not a music manager before that, but he believed that his daughters had something special. And he said, I'm going to do all I can to help them. He's established several record company imprints under the Music World Entertainment Group, and including Music World Gospel, Music World Kids, Music World Country. He has established joint ventures with Sony Music, Interscope, Geffen, A&M, Fontana, Universal, Integrity Africa. He has also managed his daughter's group. They went on to win Grammy Awards, American Music Award, BET, and many others. But he continued to grow that beyond that. And he has also helped lots of artists, Vanessa Bell Armstrong, Brian Courtney Wilson, Micah Stampley, many of the friends of mine who I've been able to have relationships with. And he continued to do it today. And he doesn't let anything stop him, even the challenges of life, even the challenges of health. He keeps going because he has faith. He has focus, he has follow through, and he has a commitment to excellence. Mathew Knowles, glad to have you on the show, my friend.
Thank you, Willie. I'm glad to be here, brother. I love, again, your introduction and how you framed the story. You do a great job of that.
Well, before I get to the story of your daughters, I want to talk a little bit more about you and overcoming, because we talked just briefly about you were a medical sales executive or salesperson, a marketing executive, but one day that you needed some of that medical background because you had a health challenge that came upon you, and thank God for the new technology. Talk a little bit about that, please.
Yeah, Willie, I'm a cancer survivor, year and a half cancer survivor, a real rare for men.
Yes.
I message it as male chest cancer, also known as breast cancer. I just don't think that's the appropriate word for men.
Yes.
I think if we look at messaging it different, men will react different.
I think you're absolutely right. Yep.
Yeah, and so I chose to do that. But I'm a cancer survivor. But for me, I'm also BRCA, BRCA, to mutated, which means I have a greater risk of prostate cancer, melanoma, pancreatic cancer, and male chest cancer, because we're talking genetics now. And now in medicine, genetics is coming to the forefront.
Right.
And you can get these genetic tests mailed to your home for cancer and heart disease. It's a new day for those who pay attention and understand the early you find this, the better and greater the outcome. Gratefully, I'm stage 1A. But had I not paid attention, I could have been at a worse stage. And men, once in this male chest cancer, if we're at a later stage, it's a really bad ending of mortality most of the time. So
what do you recommend for men to do? Because you are a survivor, you got it early. What do you recommend men to do to prepare themselves or look for this mutation or this DNA genetic implication? What do you recommend?
I recommend that they first get a genetic test, and you can have it mailed to your home. These things cost about $200.
Okay.
Not that expensive. It's a saliva test. You mail it back. There's companies, I give you the one I use, NBT. So I like giving information.
Yes.
But that's what I recommend to men and women. And I recommend doing it in your 30s and 40s.
Wow. Okay.
Because it gives you a snapshot of your genetics. And it'll let you know if you're at higher risk.
Yes.
And I want to know that. I wish I had the opportunity of knowing that earlier.
Yep. That's exactly right. I think that's so profound. And I wanted to make sure we talk about that because we're in the midst of a health crisis in our community. We're in the midst of our communities being hit harder from the pandemic and from the coronavirus. And we are seeing more of our community die because of that. And there are other things, highest in prostate cancer deaths. We're highest in many of the deaths because of a number of reasons: genetics, diet, health, exercise, and the fact that we got a lot of folks who don't want to talk about health. We got a lot of folks who don't want to take the vaccine. And I'm going to take a moment to say, we talked offline. You've already taken both of your shots. Am I right about it?
I have. I'm grateful and happy. And man, I just felt like a whole pounds of relief was put off of my shoulder when I got that second vaccine. It's a wonderful feeling, a sigh of relief.
Yes, sir. And I'm getting my second shot in the next couple of weeks. So I've been telling folks, Mathew, because I've had a lot of folks, I've been doing it on my video feeds, and I've been doing messaging to say to folks, look, take the vaccine. And people say, well, I don't know what it is. I don't know this. I don't know. I'm scared. I said, okay, let me tell you what an imaginary conversation I had with a gentleman in his 50s. I said, my man, you should take the vaccine. But if you have any questions, call your doctor. Just call your doctor, your family doctor. Oh, you don't have a family doctor. Okay, well, then call the one who gave you your physical last year. Oh, you didn't take you've never had a physical. Okay. Well, tell the one who gave you your prostate exam, Oh, you've never had okay. How about call the one who gave you a colonoscopy when you were of age. You've never had a colonoscopy. Okay. I got it now. Don't worry about it. Call the funeral home. Just call the funeral home, make an appointment. Just call and make an appointment.
Willie, I'm going to use that.
Use that, man. Just go and call and make your appointment. We want to help people to win. And I love the fact that you shared your story and the fact that you shared some resources. So, okay, now let's talk about how you were able to go from a corporate exec to becoming the manager for Destiny's Child, to form and mold these three girls, go through any drama you might have had with that whole process, but to be able to take them from a little group that sang around Houston to becoming global. What were the lessons? What were the process? And by the way, before he also teaches a course on business and entrepreneurism. Where do you teach that course, or where have you taught? I don't know if you still.
Right now, I teach at 3 universities. I teach at Prairie View Sales and Sales Management. I teach at University of Houston, the music industry in a digital age. And I will be teaching this quarter and next month at the Art Institute. I'll teach this quarter entrepreneurship.
Wow. That's what I want to talk about, all of those things and the lessons you teach. But let's talk about the story of how you took, and in one of the books you talk about is the story of Destiny's Child. He has a bunch of books that I'm going to make sure that people know where to, in fact, let's do it right now. I'm always right now. Where do people get your resources, your books, your information?
Similar to you, they can go one place, MathewKnowles.com. Matthew is spelled with one T. There's a long story behind that. We don't have time. But MathewKnowles.com, and you can find my books. You can book me to speak. You can follow me, all of that.
Great. I want everybody to go to Mathew, Mathew Knowles, KNOWLES.com, and get all of his books. Tell us about, real quick, the book about Destiny's Child, please.
It's Destiny's Child, the untold story, because most of you don't know what really happened. The media, we've learned, it does the Jedi mind trick. Half of it, you might as well not even believe it. But it really tells the story. But most importantly, the people that were there, probably 20 guests in that book that were there, had incredible, important roles like choreographer, vocal coach, record label executive that know exactly what happened. Whenever you have this level of success, you also have failure along the way. And so we talk about the failures. If you're a real true risk taker and a visionary, there will be some failure. And failure for me is an opportunity to grow, not a reason to quit.
Say that one more time. Say that one more time, Mathew. Say it one more time.
Failure is the opportunity to grow, not a reason to quit. Often when we have some failure, make some mistakes, we quit, we give up. No, it's supposed to happen that way. That's how we become better. That's how we modify and adjust our behavior. It's called change.
Yes. That is what makes a success a failure a success. A failure is a success who just kept on shooting, or like Zig Ziglar used to say, a big shot is a little shot who kept on shooting. You got to keep shooting. You got to keep giving you a shot. You got to keep going. You got to turn your setbacks into comebacks. Somebody should write a book about that. Oh, there is one. Okay. Willie Jolley wrote that book, A Setback Set Up for a Comeback. I want y'all to get it. But I tell you that in that book is same principle that Mathew is teaching, is that you must not quit quit. You must not give up. You must keep fighting for the vision. He talked about it. We're going to go back to the vision, because if you don't have a vision, you will just stumble around. But if you get a clear vision and you focus on that vision, you can turn it around. We're going to take a quick break for station identification. We're going to come back. We're going to talk about how Mathew Knowles was able to take these three girls and build a global brand, and how he can help you do the same in your business, in your future, in your finances, and in every part of your life. This is Dr. Willie Jolley on the Willie Jolley Wealthy Ways show and podcast, and we'll be right back. Hi, this is Dr. Willie Jolley, and I got an email from a gentleman in Australia who shared how he had been struggling in his business, and he bought some of my books and audios, and how it had a profound impact on his business, and he went from worst to first in his company. I shared with him how much I appreciated his note, but I told him those books, those audios, those videos were not just something that I just thought up one day and started to write. They were born out of my experiences, out of the challenges of overcoming the problems and the difficulties, and how I was able to do it. And I shared with him that others have sent similar messages, and that these resources work. I want to encourage you and invite you to go to my store. Go to wjspeaks.com/shop. wjspeaks.com/shop. Get some of the books. It only takes a minute to change your life. Or a setback is a setup for a comeback. Or turn setbacks into greenbacks. Or chicken soup for the soul. Or an attitude of excellence. Or the book I wrote with my wife after 34 years of being married and not having an argument in over 30 years. We wrote a book called Make Love, Make Money, Make It Last. And now it is saving marriages all over the globe. Go to the store, get some of the audios, the videos, the books, the resources to help you have greater personal and professional success. This is Dr. Willie Jolley. Make this a great day on purpose. I'm going to ask you somewhere in the probably last segment, Mathew, a question I ask everybody. If we went to a class at Howard University and it was a business class, and you'd be the perfect person to answer this. Give me 3 or 4. You got us. You got us. So you can think about that. You got to do this if you want to be successful. You want to be a business person. You want to be, so that you got it. That question will come. Okay, here we go. In 5, 4, 3. And we're back. This is Dr. Willie Jolley on the Willie Jolley Wealthy Ways show. And I'm so excited about being with you today. I'm so excited that many of you are able to take these principles that we teach. And I always talk about principles, folks, because principles are bedrock. You throw a rock up 100 times, it's going to come down 100 times because of a principle called gravity. It works over and over again, no matter what you try and do to alter it. Well, there are principles that we teach on this show, principles that will help you have greater success, help you win more in every part of your life, help you win. That's what we want you to do, win more. And I want to thank you for your willingness, not only to take the principles and use them, but do one more thing. Share them, because the best person in your life is the person who helps you to win more. So if you're helping your friends and your family members and coworkers to win more, then you are being an extra special blessing to them. I also want to take a moment to thank our sponsor, our friends who sponsor our program, Truist Financial. They're a bank that's here for better. See, BB&T, we all know the BB&T Bank, and then SunTrust Bank, they merged. They call themselves a merger of equals to form Truist, Truist, with a shared purpose to inspire and build better lives and communities. Let me give you just one example of what that means. Truist has come up with something called the Truist Community Benefits Plan. They've earmarked $60 billion, that's billion with a B, to invest in affordable housing, nonprofit support, and small business growth over the next 3 years. So you can see that while Truist is committed to a better banking experience for you, they're just as committed to giving back to the community and creating meaningful change for all folks who are wanting and living their dreams and want to do it bigger and better and greater. I hope you'll check them out at Truist.com. Let me spell that for you. It's Truist.com. Truist Financial, member FDIC. My guest today is a world world changer in himself. He has done great things with his life. He has overcome challenges, but he's gone on to build a massive business. He speaks, he writes books. He has helped create entrepreneurial success all over the globe. The one and only Mathew Knowles is my guest, and we've been developing this friendship for a number of years. And I kept saying, man, I got to get Mathew on the show, and we finally connected on a few months ago, reconnected. And I said, okay, we got to find a time to do it. He said, we're gonna make it happen, Willie. We're gonna make it happen. I said, absolutely. So Mathew, so good to have you on the show. Before we get going, you mentioned to me you have a podcast. I want to make sure we let people know about this podcast and where they can access it, because we want to hear your thinking on that podcast. So talk about that, please.
Yeah, it's called Mathew Knowles Impact. It's on iHeartRadio. And there's four really pillars to it: health and wellness, entrepreneurship, music business, and entertainment. But equally important, structural racism. I had Al Sharpton as my first guest. And many, many more prominent names that I think folks will know. And I want to hear perspectives, but more importantly, I want you to walk away with saying, I never knew this about that person. I dig real deep into their childhood and background to give my listeners a bit of information they didn't know and walk away with knowledge.
Great. Mathew Knowles Impact. Okay, on iHeartRadio. You can find his podcast. I want you to listen to it. And at some point, I'll come on and do an interview with you, Mathew. I know you got Damon. I know you got Damon coming on and others, and we'll connect. And I was telling offline how I had such a great time in Houston last time I spoke there. And next time we're going to have to do some stuff together. Okay, we're going to have to do some.
To do that.
That's right. That's what we're going to do. Well, look, folks, we're talking about Mathew Knowles, how he took these three little girls from Houston, Texas. One of them was his daughter named Beyoncé. I think y'all all know that name. And Kelly, and they built this tremendous brand. Tell us how tell us the story real quick and the lessons learned.
Yeah, well, the story is I'm playing basketball every Saturday, like dads do. And I would drop off Beyonce, and Kelly wasn't living with us then, but I wasn't involved with these kids. I was just a dad doing what dads do.
Yes.
They asked me to go down to Orlando. They were going to be on Star Search, and they were. And they thought they were going to win for a month. So they brought all of these wardrobes to the point that we had to get a room just for the wardrobe. And my job was just to help the ladies out with the wardrobe.
Sure.
And a dad's role. They lose. I talked to Ed McMahon, and he says, Mr. Knowles, I don't know why it is. People that lose on this show go on to be successful. Justin Timberlake, Christina Aguilera, Boyz II Men.
Wow.
Aaliyah, Alanis Morissette. I can go on and on.
Wow.
They lost.
Yes.
They went on to be successful. He says they go back, they make changes, they refocus, and they recommit. And that's when I got involved. That moment was a defining moment for me. I went back to Houston Community College. I took music business courses because I believe knowledge is power. I went to every seminar I could go to, asked every question till I made everybody in the room mad. I was like, y'all not asking questions. I paid. I'm going to ask questions. And built all the relationships I could, because this is a relationship business.
That's right.
And that's how I got involved with it.
Wow. You taught yourself. So folks, here's the lessons, the pearls that he just dropped. One, that he took that setback, they lost, and said, okay, that's not the end of this story, folks. See, some people, they stop, just like he said, if you don't quit, you can turn it around. And so they lost. They lost. And he said, no, we're going to turn this around. Then he learned. After they lost, he was willing to learn. He took time to learn. He took courses. He took classes. And look, folks, this is internet. This was pre-internet. Okay. This was pre-internet. Right. You're right. You didn't have
Saturday mornings.
That's right.
Saturday mornings.
There you go. There you go. And so he learned, you can do this on the internet, folks. You can find classes on business, on entrepreneurship. You can do all sorts of classes. Well, anyway, he learned, and then he looked into the future. He looked into the future with a new vision for these girls. Well, you got information and you got motivation, and then you put it to work. And I don't know if that's just the rest of the story. You got them going, you got them growing. You found out about record deals, about record companies. You really learned the business step by step, didn't you?
Well, but I had come from corporate America, and Willie, and many of your listeners, presidents, they announce a new president who you might be at a rental car company, and that person might have worked in the medical field. Presidents at that level, they go around all different parts of business and become presidents because knowledge is transferable at a high level. Even at a lower level, knowledge is transferable. I learned marketing and sales at Xerox.
Yes.
I transferred that knowledge to the music industry. I transferred that knowledge to the clothing industry. I'm now transferring that knowledge to academia. I'm transferring that knowledge to writing books. I'm just transferring knowledge to new industries.
Wow. Folks, that's another pearl he just dropped on you. You get the knowledge and then you expand your markets once you get the knowledge and how you can build your brand, build and expand your brand. Well, you were able to do that with Destiny's Child, and you encouraged these girls to do it. You got them the record deals. You marketed. You were willing to take your sales and marketing expertise and market them and build a brand. Let's talk about brand building, because that's critically important. People don't realize how critical it is. Talk about brand building and why it's important to create a brand.
Well, branding is really simple, and that's what we did. The music industry back in the 90s, they were into selling records.
Yes.
They were called the record industry. We were into branding, building brand. And that's simple. What sets you apart from everybody else? It could be how you dress. It could be how you sing. It could be how you talk. It could be your philosophies. But what differentiates you from someone else? It's a real simple concept that people make very difficult. So someone could work on just a hairstyle, and they can brand that hairstyle, wear it all the time, and everybody says, "Oh man, she's got that short haircut."
Say that again. I lost that. What was that?
They might say, "Oh, that girl wears that short haircut, that real short haircut."
Yes.
You brand a short haircut because you wear it all the time and people like it.
Yes.
So it's really about how do you set yourself aside from someone else? I tell my students all day long, you can brand yourself right now. You can brand yourself by coming to class on time.
Right.
John is always on time. He always has a baggy shirt. He always got that baseball cap to the back. He always has a book bag. He's now branded himself because he's differentiated himself from the rest of the students.
Wow. That's a simple, wonderful way to say it, folks. And everybody has the capacity to build a brand. And your brand, and what happens with that brand is once you establish that brand, what you do is you buy a little real estate in somebody's brain, a little piece of real estate in somebody's brain that they say your name or they say something that aligns with you. And you say, "Oh, I know who that is." Or I will recommend that person. I will want to be a part of their life. I will buy their record or I'll buy their book. It's that little piece of real estate that you own in somebody's brain. And that's what we want to help more people to do. Well, you were able to build this brand with Destiny's Child, and then to help your daughters to grow their impact and I love that Mathew Knowles impact. I love that. Folks, go to that podcast. But you created impact. And what I always like to say, wherever you create impact, you create income. And that's what you were able to do. Am I right about it?
I love writing that down.
Okay, write that one down. Wherever you create some impact, you're going to create some income. And that income is what's going to create your wealth. And that is what Mathew Knowles has been teaching entrepreneurs how to do, is create a brand that creates impact so you can create income, create wealth. So what have you been able to do as part of the next level? You got the world music, is that correct?
Music world.
Music world.
But the record label part, we're transitioning.
Okay, good.
The music industry is different today than it was 25, 28 years ago. Now we're transitioning to film and TV. But for me, it's public speaking and academia. That's where my future is. That's where I want to sit back one day and write another book. When I look back, that's the title of it.
I like that.
When I look back, I want to know that I gave a large part of me to help others. That's very important. It's been a family tradition of ours for generations. So I enjoy the classroom. We're doing it a different way on Zoom now. That's what this is. This is new technology where I can stand and give lectures and presentations, unlike having to sit down. I've invested heavily in that. But I want to make an impact on education and academia. I want to continue to give inspiration to others and tell my story.
Well, you got a great story. We're going to take a quick break. Folks, we're going to come right back. You got more to hear from Mathew Knowles about how you can grow your business, grow your success, grow your brand, and grow your wealth. This is Dr. Willie Jolley on the Willie Jolley Wealthy Way Show. And for sure, your best is yet to come.
Pick up the phone and just
Friendship is not about being convenient. It's about being committed and consistent.
Hi, this is Dr. Willie Jolley, and people often ask, how did I go from a broke, busted nightclub singer to become a best-selling author and to be voted one of the outstanding 5 speakers in the world by the 175,000 members of Toastmasters International? The answer is that I decided to invest and change my thinking, invest in my mindset, and decided to change my inputs, because inputs determine outputs. I heard about a seminar years ago when I was just getting started. I was making about $100 a speech. And I heard this seminar that was creating millionaires, and it cost $10,000, but the guy was getting results. I didn't have that kind of money, but I decided to borrow it, because I learned that there's a price for success, the price of college, the price of going to school, the price of education. And there's a price for success, and then there's a cost for not paying the price, the cost of staying the same. And that cost is greater than the price. It's too expensive. And so I went, and it changed my life. And I came back and quickly made $100,000. I heard a similar story from Dr. Dave Martin, how he went to a success rally, heard a speaker who inspired him. He and his friends said, wow, that's changed my life. The speaker had a package of materials to help build wealth. The package cost $1,500. And that was all the money Dr. Dave had to his name. Dr. Dave's friend asked, do you think this stuff is worth it? Dr. Dave thought for a moment. He said, I don't know. I don't know if it's worth it. But I do know that I'm worth it. I'm worth it. He invested that money in that package and used the materials to grow his thinking. He grew his mindset. He shared how that $1,500 investment has gone on to generate millions in revenues. He's a multimillionaire. And he has homes now in Arizona and Florida. I want to say to you, it's time to invest in you. I want to give you some materials that will help you, grow your mindset, grow your future, grow your finances. Go to wjspeaks.com/billionaire. wjspeaks.com/billionaire to get some materials that will inspire your success and help you find that there's a price for success, but there's a cost for not paying the price. And the cost is always greater than the price. Go to wjspeaks.com/billionaire and get the bag, the box, or any of the materials there, and keep growing your wealth. And remember, as a man thinketh, so as he is, and your best is yet to come. And we're Welcome back. This is Dr. Willie Jolley on the Willie Jolley Wealthy Way Show, and I am grateful for all of you who have made this a priority to put it in your schedule. Somehow, some way, I want to thank those who continue to make this something that they will make on their ride to work. They listen to the podcast. On their ride home, they listen to another. I have one friend in Pennsylvania who says I listen to one on the way to work and one on the way home. And he said it, and I love the fact you keep putting more and more into the marketplace. Also, those who listen every week on the network on Sirius XM, and those who say, I make it a part of my weekly routine every week to listen to the Willie Jolley Wealthy Way Show. It is part of my learning. And I even tell people I learn every week. I have a self-help session. I have a rally motivational messaging, and I take notes from some of the greatest thinkers in the world. And again, we got another one of the great ones today, Mathew Knowles. Mathew Knowles is a entrepreneur, a businessman, a professor, but most of all, he's a great dad. He's a great dad, and he loves his daughters, and he helped his daughters become someone and become a household name. Beyoncé. And
I'm a granddad of 4 now.
Oh, you got 4 grandkids. That's right. And I know you're eating them up. I know you are.
Oh, yeah. I got a 16-year-old grandson who's really, really has some potential to play NBA.
Amen. Well, fantastic. Well, that is a great thing to be able to be proud of, the fact that you've created a legacy. So let's talk about, I always ask, Mathew, I always ask every guest a question. I live in Washington, D.C., and we broadcast right here from D.C., and I'm about 1.5 miles, 2 miles up from Howard University. So let's say you came to D.C. and I took you down to Howard University to one of the business classes, and we walked into this room of young entrepreneur wannabes and business people wannabes, and they want to know how to do it. And I always ask, what are the you gotta? Give me some you gotta. Here the you gotta, folks. You gotta do. You gotta. What are the you gotta?
That's a true story. I have gone to Howard. I have lectured on entrepreneurship at Howard.
Excellent.
And one of the you gotta is, if you're going to be in business, an entrepreneur, I call it the who, the what, the why. Who is your customer? What is the product? And why should they buy it? The who, the what, the why. You cannot go into business without knowing the who, the what, the why.
That is powerful. The who, the what, and the why you doing this, okay? And that's great. That's great. That's fantastic. Well, you teach this course now in entrepreneurism. What do entrepreneurs need to think? How do they have to get a mindset? What do you talk about mindset development? Because we know that really the key to success in an entrepreneur journey is your thinking. Your thinking. How do you think? What makes you think different? What are the keys that you tell folks?
Well, the key is the who, the what, the why, because without that, you can't get started. You don't know what your product, and you haven't researched to know who your customer is. But you also have to have complete knowledge. You have to understand marketing. You have to understand digital marketing in today's
world. That's right. And not be scared of it.
And not be frightened of it. You have to understand consumer behavior. You have to understand your competition, understand pricing. There's a lot of work in being an entrepreneur. It's not showing up and just talking and going to the bank.
Yes.
You have to understand how to do a P&L and how to understand a P&L.
Now let me ask you a question, Nick. That's a great point. And people can learn that. Am I right? They can learn it. They can take a little course and learn that.
You can go online and learn all of this. That's the beauty of the digital age. You can go online and learn this stuff. But you have to know how to build a team and leadership and understand you're the leader.
Now, let me ask you this. One of the things you want people to do is, in order to get there, because many people say, okay, I hear you. You say, I got to do it. I got to learn these things. What do I need to do myself? What must I do? What must I do? And I always like to say, you got to grow you. You got to, your input determines your output. Okay. You've got to develop so the books that you read, the lessons you take online, listening to this show, listening to podcasts like Mathew Knowles Impact, learning more by ingesting more. Would you agree with that?
That and getting a mentor.
Oh, come on, somebody. There you go.
Finding a mentor that you can let that ego go. And I call ego the anesthesia that deadens the pain of stupidity.
Say that one more mind. Ego is what? Come on, that's good.
Anesthesia that deadens the pain of stupidity.
I love that one. I love that. That's absolutely true.
Yeah, you got to let it go and go to a mentor and say, hey, you own a company or you've been successful at this. I need you to help me.
Yes.
It's as simple as that.
Man, that's exactly right. Folks, this is, for those who are ongoing listeners, you know, almost every success person I've had has talked about the power of mentorship and that there are two ways to get to any goal, mentors and mistakes. Okay. Both will get you there if you don't quit. One just gets you there quicker with less headaches, heartaches, and knots upside your head. And so get you a mentor. And here's the good thing. Mentors don't have to be somebody who you're sitting in front of. They can be a book. They can be an audio. They can be a message. I got mentors. Benjamin Mays, Martin Luther King's mentor, is a mentor, even though I never physically met him, personally met him.
Willie,
yes.
These are the notes I took from you today.
Wow. So you learn from everybody. I learned from Matthew. Matthew learns from me. We learn from, I got a whole list of notes that I'm taking from him already. It's the anesthesia that deadens the pain of stupidity. I love that. And I also just got another one too. Ego, you got to let it go. Come on, somebody. I'm getting good stuff here today. Well, see, this is why we get this. It's iron sharpens iron, folks. Iron sharpens iron. You want to be around people who are going places, who are talking different. You notice we didn't talk about people. We didn't talk about things. We only talking about ideas. And the ones who I hang around are people who talk about ideas, how you can grow your thinking, how you can grow your success. Well, I know now that you're doing more speaking, you're doing more academia, you're doing more books. What's the future for Mathew Knowles? Where's he going? What's the next? Because you're still, in my estimation, you're still a young man. You're still a young man, okay?
Yeah, I just turned 69. I focus every day on happiness.
Amen.
I have worked so many years and so hard on making sure people won, making sure they won awards, making sure they were number one, making sure they were the best. And along that way, I didn't put all the focus I needed to on me.
Yes.
As I get older, I understand health and wellness, the physical part of it, the mental part of health and wellness. And I focus on me because if I'm a better me, I can be a better person to you.
Yes.
I'm a better me. So I'm working on happiness on Mathew Knowles every day.
Amen. I love that. I love that. Working on happiness and making the commitment to do the work. Am I right?
Exactly.
So we've talked about health today. I want everybody to make a point that you're going to get that genetic testing that he recommended, because that gives you a snapshot into what your body is composed of, so you won't get any last minute surprises, because you'll say, oh, I have a BRCA gene, or I have this or that. Also, he talked about developing your learning, developing yourself, go to take classes. He took classes. He asked questions. He stood around and talked to the experts, and then be willing to grow your self by getting mentors. Get rid of the ego and let it go and grow your success. Any closing thoughts, Mathew, as we share with people who are...
I say this every time I close. I'll be quick. I was going down the escalator at LAX years ago, and a nun from Mexico had a jar, and then on the jar was written, "Please give to the missionary." She gave me a card. A month later, I pulled out of my pocket and read the back of it. That's what I want to leave you with. It said, "Pray not for a life free from trouble. Pray for triumph over trouble." For what you and I call adversity God calls opportunity. Think about that. Pray not for a life free from trouble. Stop praying that no bad stuff's going to happen, because it is.
Yep.
But when it happens, understand that in adversity are opportunities.
Yes. That's right. That's right. If there were no adversity, there'd be no opportunity. My guest, Mathew Knowles, you are a gentleman and a scholar, and you are my friend, and I'm grateful to have you in my life, and I'm grateful you took time to be on the show today, and we're going to reconnect and do a lot more stuff. Folks, I want to thank all of y'all for making this show the number one show, because it's you, not me. It's you who have made this show the number one by sharing it. Continue to share it with your friends, your family members, and then go to winwithwillie.com, winwithwillie.com, and make a point that you sign up for the newsletter. And every day, Monday through Friday, I'll send a 1-minute message to you, video message that will inspire you. And we've got people all over the globe who are joining in on that. And then Monday nights, Happily Married Monday with the Jollies, or Make Love, Make Money, Make It Last, the broadcast, Facebook Live, Willie.Jolly, Facebook Live. And then Saturday morning, the Jolly Good News Report, where my show just recently was about how to overcome adversity. And that adversity is an opportunity, and it's a way of us growing ourselves. So do all these things and you will grow. I want to thank Truist Financial, again, Truist Financial, for partnering with us and making this a part of their commitment as we make them a part of our commitment to inspire and build better lives and communities. Go to Truist, TRUIST.com. This is Dr. Willie Jolley on the Willie Jolley Wealthy Ways Show. And for sure, your best is yet to come. God bless you and have a great week on purpose.
Are you tired of crying and complaining? Tired of feeling like life don't treat you fair? Do you see so many others moving on while you're steady going nowhere? Have you maybe come to the conclusion that there's nothing at all that you can do? Well, just look in any mirror and you'll see who is really truly stopping you.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this podcast episode, and I hope you got something of great value. And I hope that you were inspired, you were motivated, you were empowered, and you were encouraged to live your best life. I hope this information and this inspiration will help you to do more, be more, and to achieve more. That's the goal why I started this program, and I hope it helped you in a mighty way. Now, I ask you to make sure and that you take full advantage of all the resources that came through this program. I hope you go to wjspeaks.com/gift and get some of the free resources that we have there for you. I hope you go to wjspeaks.com/shop to get some of the books that we have created, that we've labored over to make sure that they will deliver a powerful message to you. I hope you go to williejolly.com/billionaire. williejolly.com/billionaire or wjspeaks.com/billionaire to get the box that it will inspire your whole family, or get the bag of books. Make this a great day, a great week, a great month. And remember, it is true that you are blessed and all things are possible for them that believe. So make the most of the belief that you have now in your future. This is Dr. Willie Jolley. Have a great day.
This podcast is a part of the C-Suite Radio Network. For more top business podcasts, visit c-suiteradio.com.